Hey besties, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my June TBR. That actually feels so crazy to say. The fact that it's already June, or almost June, is insane. We're like halfway through 2024 already. I actually cannot believe it. I feel like so much has happened this year. So many good releases have come out. I've had so many good reads. I've found so many favorite books and series, and I'm just kind of loving the way that my reading year is going so far. I am feeling slightly slumpy right now, but I'm working on it. Don't even worry. So we're just going to go over the books that I plan on reading in June, or that are kind of at the peak of my interest. Just because they're on my TBR does not mean I'm going to read them. They're just kind of like books that I've been kind of in the mood for, or that I can kind of help me condense down my entire physical TBR so that I can actually just like have a more condensed version and I'm not stressing myself out trying to pick a book. Because sometimes if I think I have too many book options, I then don't read anything because I don't know what to read. So having a TBR kind of helps with that. With all of that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon book wish list. And let's get into my June TBR. Okay, the first book we're going to be talking about is actually one I don't physically have. It's going to be a Kindle read, and that is Spark of the Everflame. So this is supposed to be a fantasy series, and I've heard the most amazing things about it, so I'm so excited to finally read it. I feel like I need a new fantasy series to obsess over, because I've read all of my favorite fantasy series to the end. I've read all my favorite romance series to the end, and so I just feel like I'm missing that like feeling of loving a series, and I have just literally heard amazing things about this one. So I believe there's either 4 or 5 books in it. I think the final one just came out, or it's about to come out, so I felt like it was a perfect time to start it. So I am super excited to get into that one. I don't really know what it's about, but that's the best way to go into fantasy, into my personal opinion. So this one is really high on my TBR. I've wanted to read it for a while, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I was like, let's just add it to the June TBR. I'm ready for my fantasy girly series vibes to come back, because I feel like all I have read for the last 2 months is romance. And I think that's why I'm feeling slumped out, because romances are pretty repetitive, and I just need a new world and new characters and new love interests to just really obsess over. So Spark of the Everflame is the first book on our June TBR. I actually have a lengthy fantasy options this month, so one of these is a repeat. I think I planned on reading it in like March, and I just didn't get to it. So that is my reread of ACOWAR. I have already reread ACOTAR this year and ACOMOF. This is the 3rd book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I love this series so much. I love these characters. I love the world building. I love the writing, and I'm obsessed. And I miss these characters, and I feel like a reread is the perfect way to get out of a bit of a slump. So I figured it was time to do my ACOWAR reread. I plan on doing the dramatized audiobook and fully annotating this as I go. That's what I did for the first 2 during my rereads this year, and I had such an amazing time. If you don't really know what the ACOTAR series is about, it's basically this girl named Feyre commits like a crime in Fey land rules, and she ends up getting taken by one of the High Lords. And while she is over in the Fey lands, she falls in love with one of the High Lords, and then has to go on this like quest adventure and risk her life, basically to save the whole world. So it's very interesting. It goes very off script from there. This, in my opinion, is the most political based book in the series, which is my favorite. This is my favorite in the series, and I don't know why I've been putting it off. I just feel like it's such a lengthy book, and I've honestly kind of been sticking to shorter books recently. I don't know why, but I have been, and I feel like maybe getting fully immersed back into a world will help me through this slump. So I highly recommend the ACOTAR series if you've never read it before. If you've never heard of it, you're literally living under a rock. Everybody has heard about this at this point, I swear. But I highly, highly, highly recommend, and I'm really excited to go back into this world and relive these moments with these characters. Next, we have one that I have been wanting to read for the longest time, and honestly, I don't really have a reason why I haven't read it yet. I just like haven't gotten to it, and I have prioritized other books over this one. We have Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Once again, if you don't know what Hunger Games is, you're living under a rock. I have seen all of the movies. I love the movies so much, and I've always wanted to read the books, and my brother actually got me the full series for Christmas. So I do have the new one, which is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I just don't feel like committing to that right now, so we're actually just going to start with Hunger Games, and then I'll probably backtrack and read the prequel. I've once again seen the movie, so I feel like we'll be okay. Obviously the prequel didn't come out until the whole trilogy was finished, so I don't really think it should be that big of a deal, but I'm so beyond excited to read this. It's been like in my mind for a while, I just haven't gotten around to it, so I feel like this is gonna be really good. I already know that I love the characters. I'm really interested to see what her writing style is like, and I'm just so excited. So I'm really excited to see PETA as well, because I'm a PETA girly, so I'm really excited about this one. Our last fantasy for the month is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This, I believe, is about like superheroes or something. Let me just read you the synopsis. The Renegades are a group of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities, who emerged from the ruins of a crumbled society and established peace and order where chaos resigned. As champions of justice, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone except the villains they once overthrew. Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice and in Nova. But Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both. I've heard really, 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 really good things about the series, and I also am a Marvel girly, so I'm not sure why I wouldn't like this. She is pretty lengthy. She's like 550 pages, so this is going to be one that I have to read when I feel like I can commit myself and fully immerse into a book. But this has been peak interest for a while, so I'm super, super, super excited to get into this. I know that people who like it, for the most part, end up like loving it. It's not really like a, oh, it's okay. It's like a, wow, I love this series. And I believe this is a trilogy, so I'm really, really excited to finally get into this one. I've heard really good things, and I love a good fantasy, and superheroes sounds great to me, so I'm really excited to get into this one. Okay, our last two are both romances. So first we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Surprisingly, I have not read this book yet. I have read 3 of her books, so I have 2 left, and I figured now is the perfect time. Summertime. Emily Henry, I just feel like it gives summer vibes. This one, I don't know what it's about. All I know is book lovers. They are book lovers. I believe for most people this isn't like a top favorite of hers, but I am not a funny story and or beach read girly. I'm a happy place girly, so maybe this will correlate with me loving Happy Place. I'm not sure, we will find out together, but I'm really excited to go back into Emily Henry's writing. Obviously, she just had Funny Story released recently. I didn't love it, unfortunately. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. So I'm hoping maybe this can give a little redemption. I don't want to say that like Emily Henry is my favorite author ever, when realistically, as of now, I only love one of her books, which is Happy Place, but Happy Place is like my all-time favorite romance ever. So I'm hoping I can love more things by her. So I'm excited to get into this. We will see how I feel. Like I said, I feel like you're either like a beach read girly or a book lovers girly, and then you're either like a Happy Place girly or a Funny Story girly. So I'm hoping that this is my next like top love of my life. We will find out. And I believe the guy's name is Gus, and I've heard really, really, really good things about Gus as a book boyfriend, so I'm intrigued. Also, a romance about 2 book lovers. I'm here. I'm all here for it. The final book on my June TBR is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. So I have read the other 2 books in this like little interconnected standalone series situation, but I have not read this one. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm really excited to get into this. I believe it is about a guy who's from like the country and the girl is from the city, and somehow they meet and fall in love. I don't really know. Like I said a million times, I really like not knowing what I'm getting myself into, but I have loved the other 2 books by Abby Jimenez that I have read. I feel like if I love this one too, she could quickly become a top favorite author for me, so I'm really intrigued to see how I feel about this. And I just love a cutie little romance, you know, to mix in with all these fantasy reads that I have planned for the month. So our final book is Abby Jimenez's Part of Your World. To do a quick recap, my June TBR is Spark of the Everflame, which I plan on reading on my Kindle, A Court of Wings and Ruin, Hunger Games, Renegades, Book Lovers, and lastly, Part of Your World. So we have a cutie little stack going on here. I'm sure I will not fully stick to this and there will be other things in here that I end up reading, but I'm really excited about all these books. They've been on my priority TBR for quite some time now, so I'm really excited to finally get into all of these. I also feel like such a fake reader because I haven't read some of these, and I feel like all of the book girlies, especially the book talk girlies, have read basically every single book in this stack here. So I'm really excited about my June reading month. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what my June TBR is going to be. Let me know in the comments what books are on your June TBR, and or which of these books you think I'm going to love the most. If you've read any of them, your thoughts, your feelings, let me know down below. I love having conversations with you guys. So with all that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon book wish list. And I will see you besties in my next video. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are. I love you all to the moon and Saturn. Bye!